Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. And if this is your first time, thanks for joining us. Today, we're starting a brand new series and we're talking about friendships. Now, one of the cool things about this device, and I know you have your own device, whether it's an Apple or even if you're an Android, yes, we'll accept you too. But one of the cool things is that you can literally walk around anywhere and you have all the information in the world at your fingertips. Like literally you can go to Google and Google how to do just about anything. So let's literally, like right now, let's go to Google and we're going to Google how to, and all right, let's see what shows up. You do it too, see what shows up on your phone. I'm going to tell you what shows up on my search. How to, okay, here it is. How to know if you need to fix a window regulator or a switch. You probably know nothing about that, and that's probably my, DIY projects, or probably a result of my DIY projects. Here's another one. How to get helium balloon down. I didn't know that was a thing. How to pray. That's pretty noble there. How to be a Christian. That's pretty notable as well. How to make banana bread. I do not know how to make banana bread, so that would be really, really interesting. How to get rid of gnats, because gnats are super annoying, and but they're part of God's creation too, I guess. How to lose weight fast, because everybody wants to lose weight, I guess, at some point in their life, right? But here's the thing: we can go to Google, and Google can tell us how to do anything and how to do everything. But one of the things that doesn't autofill when we type in how to is how to friend, how to be a good friend, or even just how to learn about friendships, right? You never type in how to and it says how to be a good friend. It never says how to make friends, or you never learn on Google how to keep friends, or how to change your friend groups, because there's moments where you want to do that too, right? Or you never search moments where it says how to lose a friend. Because if you've been a friend for a while, you've probably done that as well. Now here's the thing about friends and friendships. Friendships are good. That is a fact, right? I don't want to deter us from that reality. But friendships are difficult. Friendships are hard because friendships are always changing. Think about it. The people that you were friends with in elementary school are not the same friends that you have in middle school. I know for me, the friends that I had in middle school were not all the same friends that I had in high school. And even as I got older, out of high school, the friends that I had in high school were not the same friends that I had always into my adult years. And the reality is that friendships are hard. And I wish we could go to Google, or I wish somebody would have sat us down in my elementary or middle school or high school years and said, hey, Aaron, listen. This is how you friend. This is how you be a good friend. Now, why is this important? Why are we having this conversation? There are a plethora of reasons why I feel like this conversation is important. But one of the reasons why it's important, because deep down inside, for you especially, and for me, your friendships are important to you. The reality is your friendships right now in your middle school years and in your high school years are super important to you. And if we're honest, the friendships that you have in middle school and high school are the friendships that play a super important role in your life. As a matter of fact, like a lot of the decisions that you're probably making right now are probably a result of your friendships. A lot of the decisions and things that you like to do and the things that you enjoy to do are probably a big result of your friendships. And the argument that you just got into with your parents, it probably was because something you did with your friends. And so the truth of the matter is that our friendships are really, really important to us. But then another reason why this is important is that our friendships, it takes a lot of work. Friendships take a lot of work. If you're going to have a really healthy friendship and be a really healthy friend, it's going to take a lot of work. But here's the thing, knowing how to be a friend is difficult, because here's the reality. Anytime you mix two complex humans, and reality check, all of us are complex humans because that's the way that God made us. But anytime you mix two different human beings together, things are just going to be different. It's not always going to be easy. Anytime you put them in close proximity in relationship to each other, it's going to be hard to understand each other sometimes. It's going to be hard to maintain peace sometimes because that's just how we are in nature. And so here's the thought that I want you to think about. Growing up, let's be honest, we were never taught how to be friends. I can't remember a time where my teacher rolled down the projector and said, hey guys, today we're going to learn about how to be friends. I never remember a moment where I sat in a professor's lecture in college and they said, hey guys, today we're going to work on a degree in friendship. It's never happened. It doesn't happen that way in our lives. And so with that being said, most of the friends that you probably have right now, you have them by default. Now, it's not to say that that's a bad thing, but that's just the reality. That's just the truth of where you are in your life, and that's the truth of where I am in my life. You think about it. Whoever is in your class right now, those are the people that you probably becomes friends with. You're probably on the same team, and those people end up becoming your friends. Or maybe you guys are in the same neighborhood and y'all just so happen to like the same things. You just so happen to watch anime. You just so happen to play the same video game. You just so happen to like maybe the same boy. Hopefully that's not a big thing for you. But those are the things that draw you close to maybe the friends that you have right now. So a lot of times all of our friendships are usually formed by default. And when it comes to our friendships, there's a couple of things that we really need to understand. Number one, that things are always changing. When it comes to our friendship, things are always changing. You think about the new school that you're going to. You think about the new class that you're a part of. You think about all the things that you're a part of and all the things that you do. You're always making new friends as things change. But sometimes it's super difficult because in your mind, you come to the conclusion, what's the point of getting real close with somebody when you know things are eventually going to change? Right? That's how we feel on the inside. And so sometimes things are always changing, but then also when it comes to our friendships, there's expectations that we have about friends that sometimes are never met. And you know exactly what this is like. You know the expectation that you have about friendships and you expect that exact same thing from somebody else, and it makes you feel some kind of way when you don't receive it the way that you expect to have it, right? When you go out of your way to be there for a friend and they don't return that to you as a friend, it makes you feel some type of way, or it reminds you that friendships are super, super difficult. Like when there's something that you would swear that you say, I would never do this to my best friend, and then they turn around and do it to you. And you're just like, man, come on. Like, these friendships are just difficult, right? Now, the good news for all of us today is that what we're going to be talking about today is starting the conversation of how to friend, how to be a good friend. But I think our best example really comes from the Bible. And so as old as the Bible is, there is some super valuable lessons about what it means to be a friend and actually how we can do that. So one of the verses I want to look at is actually in one of the Gospels written by this guy named John. He was a disciple of Jesus, and basically he wrote about Jesus' life and his experience. One of the things that John writes is found in John chapter 13, but this is a crucial moment in Jesus' life. This is literally right before Jesus is about to be arrested and about to be accused and about to die on the cross. Right before this moment, Jesus is hanging with his friends. Now, if you're thinking like I'm thinking, you're probably thinking that, hey, Jesus is hanging with his friends right before he's about to be accused, arrested, die on the cross, and he's probably looking around the table of his friends, and, maybe, if we were Jesus, like, we would probably be a little bit petty. And you're probably thinking like Jesus probably, in his mind, thinking like, what are these guys going to do when these people come up and show up to arrest me? Like how are they going to prove their friendship to me when I am on my way to the cross? And you would think that Jesus would be pondering this and thinking like this, and you would probably not even say anything or probably say there's nothing wrong with that, right? He has every right to think that way. But here's what Jesus did. Jesus was not reactive in how he treated his friends. He was actually proactive. I want to read it to you. John chapter 13, verses 4 and 5. Listen to what happens. So he got up from the table, took off his robe, wrapped a towel around his waist, and poured water into a basin, which is essentially a bowl. And then he began to wash his disciples' feet, drying them with the towel he had around him. Now, it is in this moment that you're probably thinking, why in the world would Jesus be doing this? This is literally the last time that Jesus would be hanging with his friends. You would think that they would be throwing some type of party. You would think that he would put all the attention on himself. You would think that he would probably call out Judas right in that moment, say, hey, listen, dude, I know what you're about to do. So like, we're going to have to, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to have to cut you off right at this moment. But Jesus literally flips everybody's expectation of what a friend really is. And Jesus is a master of that. He's the master of flipping people's expectation. Whatever your expectation is of what a friend should be and how people should act and how you should even behave, Jesus is always thinking on a level that's completely different than where we're thinking, right? And so he does something completely different. And here's simply what he does. He demonstrates to his disciples, he demonstrates to his friends, and even more importantly, he's demonstrating to us how to actually be a friend. What Jesus is doing is he's literally taking the first step. He's saying, listen, I will be the example. I will be the model to show you what it looks like to be a friend. I will be the example, and I will be the model, the kind of friend that he wanted his disciples to be. He showed it. He took the first step. Now, what's pretty cool is that in another part of a gospel that's written by another person, his name was Luke, and he was a doctor, and he also wrote about Jesus' life. He said, here's what he wrote about what Jesus said. Luke chapter 6, verse 31. Here's what Jesus said. He says, do to others as you would like them to do to you. Now, it's a very simple truth, but it's such a powerful truth because what Jesus is not only saying, but it's something that he's also doing, and he's showing the entire world, including you and including me. He's showing us, listen, whatever type of friend that you want to have in your life is the type of friend that you should actually be. And the truth of the matter is that if you want to learn how to be a friend, you're going to have to learn how to serve. You're going to have to learn how to be to somebody else the person that you actually want to be. So, but here's the problem with that, because I know what you're thinking, because I'm thinking the same thing. We're alike. We're here. Jesus, we appreciate that. This is very noble, and it's good for us. We should follow this, but it's hard. And I know it's hard. And that's probably what you're thinking. This is so hard. Like, how can I really live this out? Because here's the truth about you, and here's the truth about me. We are more reactive than we are proactive. Here's how I know that you're reactive. When somebody doesn't answer your text, guess what you do? You leave them on red for 3 and 4 hours, or you might go even a couple of days, and you'll go on Snapchat and you go on your social media and you'll respond to your friends on social media, but I will not respond to that text because you didn't respond to mine. I know, that's what we do, right? Or here's how I know that we're more reactive. When you find out that one of your friends is talking about you behind your back, you don't forgive them right away. You go and do the same thing that they did to you. If they treated you wrong, you treat them wrong. We're more reactive than we are proactive. But what Jesus is saying is, hey, that's not the model. That's not what I'm showing you. I'm showing you a completely different way. And we can all agree, if we're honest, that this is the way that we want our friendships is not to end in breakups and drama and gossip and all that type of stuff. We can all agree that none of us want our friendships to end that way. And if that's true, then we have to take the model and the example of Jesus and take the first step. And here's what the first step is, according to what Jesus is saying, is that if we're going to be a friend, it means we have to serve our friends. If we're going to be a friend, it means that we're going to have to serve our friends. Now, there's a lot of different ways that we can do this, right? But I'm just going to share a simple way and model that you can start the process of being a good friend and serving your friends, being the type of friend that you want your friends to be. Number one, think about your friends. Like literally right now, write down the people that are in your friend group. And not only write down the things that the people that are in your friend group, but start to think about the things that they like. Start to think about the things that maybe nobody knows about them except for you. The things that maybe they have dreams and aspirations about. And so that you can start thinking about your friends and knowing them on a level that's a little bit deeper than what most people know them as, right? So think about your friends. And not only think about your friends, the second thing that I want you to do, I want you to listen to your friends. Instead of going into your conversations, into your friendships, thinking about what you can get out of the friendship, I want you to flip that expectation. And I want you to listen to your friends so that you can see actually how can I serve them. So that when you hear that they're having a bad day, that you can actually serve them and maybe help them have a good day. Or when you hear that there's a family member in their family that passed away or that's sick, that you can actually be there for them because you're listening to what's happening in their own lives. And then lastly, the best thing that we can do for all of our friends is that we can pray for them. And that's what I want you to do. I want you to pray for your friends. The things that you know about your friends, the things that you hear about your friends, that your friends are talking about their concerns and their struggles, I want you to take some time and I want you to actually pray for them. And you can pray in a couple of different ways. One, you can pray in your own prayer time silently, and they don't even have to know that you're praying for them, but because that's just what a good friend does. You're just going to pray for your friends. Or you can pray with them. And as they share things that maybe they're concerned about, or maybe dreams that they are looking forward to, or maybe struggles that they're having, you can actually pull them to the side and say, hey, can we pray in this moment? Because that's the model that Jesus showed us. And so just imagine what type of friendships you would have if you would take the first step. Imagine the type of friend that you would be if you was to be the person that you actually want your friends to be. Let's pray. Father, thank you so very much for this reminder and for the example and model that Jesus showed each and every one of us. Help us to take the first step in how to friend. In Jesus' name, amen.